Hey, it's Mr. Flint here. We'll talk to you a little bit about differentiation. That's right, meeting all your students' needs, because you know that every single student in your classroom is not the same. They all have different abilities and strengths, and I mean every class in the school. Whether it be reading, math, language arts, science, social studies. But I want to talk to you about one area in particular, and that is, believe it or not, arts. And specifically, the poster. Now, we've all assigned posters as projects in our room, most of us. Something similar to this, different according to age level, but something very similar to a poster. This is a 5th grade poster. The class did some research on different countries and broke it down into different categories like architecture, religion, food, sports, things like that. And, this poster is fine. The student took their time. All the categories are spaced far apart. Handwriting looks good. Looks pretty well researched. There's something wrong with this. Pretty much middle of the road poster. But I know from my experience over the years with my 6th graders, my 4th graders, my 3rd graders, there are some drawbacks to assigning posters, and maybe you've experienced some of these. Posters seemed like a good idea at the time, but consider this. Do you think everyone has the same artistic ability in your classroom? No, I'm living proof of that. When I was in elementary school, when I would do posters, and I need a ruler to draw a straight line, so my posters never turned out very well. And maybe you were the same way in elementary school. And you can certainly see the difference between the product that you get in your classroom. You have some really great posters, and you have some posters, not so much. So consider that. And consider the time it takes to make posters. When in this example, drawing out the letters for Russia and then coloring them in and drawing the pictures and spatial relationships. Oh my goodness. Students have very poor spatial relationships, and they have trouble spacing everything out so it fits together. They're erasing, and sometimes they even have to start over because they just couldn't get those spatial relationships and distances apart. They take a lot of time. And if you've assigned posters in your classroom, it starts off pretty well, but after a while, the students, they get a little chatty, near the end of the day especially. And how many times has your class worked on a poster and you've told them to monitor the noise level and keep their voices down, inside voices, and so on and so forth. Next thing you know, you're doing more classroom management and crowd control than you are, maybe you wish you were doing other things like helping kids out. And the materials. Students don't all have markers and crayons that they need, or maybe they have a set but they're missing a blue and they have to walk across the room and talk to their friend and get that color. Colors wind up on the ground after they're done working with them, so a lot of the noise that comes in the classroom is from students having to borrow materials from other people around them. And then when the lesson's done and you want to work on the posters the next day or two because they take a lot of time, what happens to those posters? Do the kids shove them in their desk, fold them, roll them up? Or do you collect them and take up space in your room? Maybe they take them home and shove it in a backpack or something, then it comes back and not the same as when it left your classroom, that's for sure. So there's a lot of drawbacks using posters. Ladies and gentlemen, consider an alternative to posters. That's the Google presentation. Let's take a look, okay? Artistic ability. How much artistic ability do you think it takes to make a Google presentation? Practically none, okay? Anyone can make a Google presentation, no matter how artistic you may or may not be. Google presentations get done a lot faster because if you don't like drawing your own pictures on them, you can insert pictures. And we know how fast that can be. So it takes the drawing right out of the equation. The coloring, I'll just click buttons and tell it which color you want. So everything gets done a lot faster. Spatial relationships, students just click and drag and they don't have to erase and start over. Everything looks well spaced out because on the computer, that's the advantage that it offers. Engagement. Well, if students are mindlessly coloring in parts of a flag or a picture, their mind starts to wander and they start talking to people around them. But when students have a laptop in front of them, hey, consider this. I work with kindergarten classes. Kindergarten! For 20 to 30 minutes working on drawing programs, you can hear a pin drop in those kindergarten classrooms for 20 to 30 minutes, okay? Older students, no problem. Something that takes more of your attention and focus when working on a laptop than just a piece of paper. So these student engagement, let's just say you're not having to do crowd control nearly as much, okay? Materials, you only need one. That's the laptop. No markers or crayons to fall on the floor, or the students don't have the materials they need or have to borrow some from someone else around them. Students can work on them at home. Let's just say you have a short amount of time, 30 to 40 minute lesson, and you want to carry it over the next day. Well, you don't have to worry about papers getting folded, crumpled, crinkled. The students can work on their project at home and work on it the next day in school. Heck, maybe even finish at home. You don't have to worry about the product getting damaged. So let's take a look, shall we? This is the poster that I took a snapshot of, and this is a poster I worked on. Same material, and I'll even show it to you so we can see side by side. Okay, so the content is practically the same, and I didn't have to draw anything. I just inserted pictures. How long do you think it took me to insert the picture of the church, or the babushka dolls, or the soccer players, and so on? Practically no time at all. I didn't have to draw anything. And I even added more. So there's so much more greater potential you could do with the Google presentation than a poster. Okay? Guess how long this took me? About 11 minutes. 11 minutes, folks, it took me to make this Google presentation. I know what you're saying. Well, Mr. Flint, you're an adult. Of course it's going to take you less time. Okay, well, multiply that by 3, or multiply that by 4, or even 5. Then you're only talking about 30, 40, 50 minutes tops it would take to make this poster. Presentation. And it's not hard to include the text and the callouts like I did. Guess what? I've been on your classrooms, 3rd and on up, and all of your students know these skills. They know how to do them. So you invested the time. Why not take advantage of some of the skills your students have learned? And instead of posters, consider Google presentation and the advantage that it offers. Now, I'm not saying to abandon posters altogether. Some of you students really love doing posters and are quite time efficient with them, but not everybody is. So maybe students can choose a poster or choose a Google presentation. Give them that choice, and now we're meeting our students' needs. Now we are using our time effectively. We're working smarter, not working harder. So, and if you consider Google presentation and you want backup, well, consider signing up for some technology collaboration. And I'd be more than happy to come into your room and support you, work with some students, and have them just review some of the skills that they've already learned. Mr. Flynn here, asking you to consider Google presentation for your poster and illustration needs, and I hope to be talking with you and working with you soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.